The 11-3 Covington Catholic Colonels have won 4 state football titles in the last 10 years. This season's senior-dominated squad showed what they were made of in the regional championship game when they came back from a 28-6 second-quarter deficit against Highlands to win 41-35 in double overtime. Last week, the Colonels polished off Bell County 35-0 to reach the 3A state title matchup. Their opponent will be 13-1 Hopkinsville. The Tigers are no stranger to state championship competition as they dropped a 21-14 decision to Highlands in the 1996 title matchup.
Hoptown is a great offensive football team. Without him being a Pinner, number 2, is probably, I think, the best back in the state. He has over 300 yards rushing alone this year, and he is a tremendous athlete, good speed, and we must stop their running game to win the football game.
Covington Catholic and Hopkinsville, the winner takes home the 3A state championship trophy.
And welcome to Louisville Cardinal Stadium, home site of the 3A state championship game. I'm Trip Topkin, and I'm joined by a man familiar with both of the teams participating this afternoon, the defending state champion Highlands Bluebird coach Dale Mueller. And Dale, obviously disappointed to be up here, I'm sure, in the booth, but it should be a whale of a game.
Well, I'm having fun up here in the booth with you, Trip, but I wouldn't mind being down there figuring out the way to stop R2's Pinner and the Hopkinsville Tigers.
Covcath, of course, features a very balanced attack. Talk a little about what you'll see today out of them.
Well, Covcath's got an excellent football team. They've got to be able to run the ball off tackle with Jeremy Madden, but they can mix it up, and Jared Keys is having a great season. He's getting better every game. They can do a lot of things offensively.
And of course, Hoptown features R2's Pinner in the backfield.
R2's Pinner is the most dynamic football player in Kentucky today. He's last week against a really good Louisville Valley team. He rushed for 415 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he can play the game.
Well, joining us on the sideline is Wes Wright. Wes, how are things down there?
Well, Trip, until just a few seconds ago, I was all prepared to tell you that the playing conditions, the weather conditions for the Class 3A state championship game today would probably be a lot better than the playing conditions we had for the Class A state championship involving Beechwood yesterday. As you know, by the second half of that game, it was covered in a sheet of light snow. The wind was blowing, and the field conditions were pretty treacherous. It was a frozen rock-hard surface, the artificial surface here at Cardinal Stadium, and one player on Harrodsburg suffered a concussion, possibly as a result of that. And just a few minutes ago, the wind picked up, the snow flurries are blowing, and who knows, by the second or third quarter, we may well have similar conditions. We have a thermometer that is struggling to reach 30 degrees here down on the field, and that should be the conditions all day long for the Class 3A and the 4A state championships here. Back upstairs, Trip.
Thank you, Wes. Well, I'll tell you, Dale, this morning when we got here, it was sunny out, a little cloudy. Right now, I see that the snow is coming down pretty furiously.
Well, I think it's going to be good conditions to play in. You know, we're getting a little snow here, but I think, you know, the turf is nice. I don't think it'll really affect either team.
Well, of course, you played Covington Catholic twice this year, beating them at their home field earlier in the season. That was back in October, and losing to them in the regional final game just a couple of weeks ago. Did you see any difference in the teams and in that team that you played against from one game to the next?
Well, I think this is a determined Covington Catholic team. I think they really want to win. I think they're led by their inside linebacker, Tim Wolf, and he has a real burning desire to win this game. His older brothers have all won state championships at Covington Catholic, and I think the attitude of this team is, we're going to win this state championship, or I'm going to kill you guys. And I think they'd rather win.
Well, Covington Catholic is getting ready to kick off to Hoptown. Of course, in the receiving end for the Tigers, back will be number 1.
Wilbur Benson. Wilbur, I tell you, is a heck of a football player. And for their playoff games this year, he's taken 3 punts back for touchdowns. I talked to Craig Clayton, their coach, this week, and he says that Wilbur is faster than Artus and is more dangerous back there running back punts and kicks.
Wilbur Benson runs a 4.440. Is being recruited by such schools as Middle Tennessee, Murray State, Western Kentucky, and Georgia Tech. So I think regardless of where he ends up going to school, he'll bring a lot of speed. He's a real speedster. I think he's a real sleeper. I think he'll be a real good college football player. Well, here we go. Covcath is squibbing the ball along the ground. It's taken, bounces off one of the Tiger upmen, and is taken by number 3. That would be Ricky Garris, and he is tackled down around the 33-yard line, where it'll be first down for Hoptown. Hopkinsville's offense looks like this. Clay Carroll is the quarterback. As we mentioned, Artus Penner and Travis Hampton in the backfield. The wide receivers are Wilbur Benson, Brandon Hayes, and the line features Derek Pierce at tight end, Asquith, Wallace, Panuski, Agate, and Johnson.
That's a team that basically started against us last year in the playoffs.
The handoff goes to Penner, and Penner struggles forward for pickup of about 5 yards, where it'll be about second down and 5. The defensive lineup for Covington Catholic: the linemen Hammond, Grout, Applegate, and Gurman. There they are. And linebackers are Matt Reardon, Tim Wolf, as you mentioned, Brian Drees. The backfield is Tom Beecham, Brian Voorhees, Ryan Pfeiffer, and Tom Foley. And Dale, you were mentioning that in the warm-ups, I believe it was Tim Wolf, you said, was lining up in a different position from where you normally would see him.
Well, it's not Tim Wolf. It's their safety, Ryan Pfeiffer. They play Ryan where they need him most. He's been a real versatile player for him this year on defense. They'll put him back at defensive back. If it's a passing team, they get him up closer to the line if they expect a run. And this game, they've got him up playing an outside backer position.
The handoff went to Travis Hampton for short gain, and the Tigers are now faced with a 3rd and 3 situation. Clay Carroll back in a shotgun formation for the Tigers. The fake out to Hampton, and the pass goes to number 1. That's Wilbur Benson. And Benson has a lot of yardage for the first down before a nice tackle by Covcat.
Well, that's what they like to do. They like to get it out there to those speedsters and let them go with it. That was a nice tackle there by Matt Reardon. He has really come on for him this year. His brother's the tight end and has had a great year. Matt, I think, is a big hitter for him. He's an athletic guy.
So Hopkinsville will have a 1st and 10 on Covcat's 46-yard line.
Covington Catholic's going with a 5-3 look. 5 linemen, 3 linebackers.
The handoff to Penner, and Penner's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss. And there's a flag on the play as well.
Now that's the key for the Colonels. If they can get Artus before he gets started, they're going to have a lot of success. Here's a hold call against Hopkinsville.
Now, with a stop like that on the play, would you think that the penalty, would you take the penalty?
No. No, I'd take the play. They had him for a 1-yard loss. The less times you can get the ball in Artus's hands, I think the better off you are.
Well, Lynn Ray disagrees, as Hoptown will be marched back 10 yards, and it will be a 1st and, they're going to call it 19 from the Hoptown 45-yard line.
I can't disagree too much with Lynn, though. He's won 4 straight. He's been in 4 state championship games, and he's won them all.
Hampton, the lone setback for the Tigers. Penner goes in motion. The handoff will go to number 5, and he is stopped right around the line of scrimmage. That was Brandon Hayes. He was swarmed under by the defense.
That didn't fool the Colonels at all. Covington Catholic plays a disciplined defense. Ball was away, their backside backer stayed and made a nice play.
So the Tigers now looking at 2nd and 19 once again, as there was no gain.
There's 75, Terrence Johnson limping off the field. Hopkinsville plays 6 guys both ways as compared to Covington Catholic playing no ways. Terrence is a 2-way starter for him.
Carroll hands off to, I believe that was Hampton once again, and he is swarmed under. That's going to be about a yard or so loss for the Tigers, and they'll be faced with 3rd and long. Nick Gurman in on the tackle for the Colonels. So Clay Carroll brings his troops up to the line of scrimmage. Hampton and Benson in the backfield, I believe. stoppage. Possibly too much time.
That looks like what the signal is.
And we do have a delay of game penalty called against the Tigers.
Well, it's a good start for Covington Catholic. This is where they like to get them. It's 3rd and long. They haven't gotten the ball much to R2 so far.
It'll be 3rd and 26. Clay Carroll, the quarterback, passing this year for 448 yards. Correction, 1,448 yards. He's undoubtedly in a passing situation now, although they do give the ball to Pinner. And Pinner squirms away from one set of tacklers, but he squirms away from another one. And look at this. Artos Pinner showing you exactly how to get away from the defense, although he was taken down far short of the first down. An impressive run, although not necessarily effective.
Well, that play maybe made 3 or 4 guys miss, but it was still a gain of 2 yards. Covington Catholic is doing a fine job of staying at home, pursuing to the ball, making him, if he misses one, hang with the other guys coming and gang tackling him.
And there's a penalty called against the Colonels. And they'll mark that off. Now, that's a 15-yarder. If that was a personal foul, which it was, it'll be a first down, will it, for the Tigers?
No, that should still be 3rd down.
Okay, they'll call that.
Oh, maybe it was after the play, so they're going to call it 4th down.
Okay, so it'll be 4th and 9 from the Covcat 44.
And that was a call in the defensive secondary, deep away from the play.
Greg Turner is in to punt for the Tigers. Greg Turner, a soccer player for the Tigers during the fall. We'll talk a little bit more about that a little later on. The kick goes downfield, and Covcat is just going to let it bounce wisely, and it will be stopped down inside the 10-yard, well, right on the 10-yard line, where the Colonels will take over 1st and 10. The Covington Catholic offense lines up like this. Jared Keys is your quarterback. Jeremy Madden and Pat McDermott are in the backfield. Chad Summey and Tom Huller are your receivers. And the offensive line with Mark Reardon at tight end. Getz, Plackey, Mangine, Doolin, and Kendall all along the offensive line.
This isn't where they wanted to start off with their first possession.
Of course, Covcat featuring both a good passing and rushing attack. The handoff right now goes up the middle. That is number 25.
By number 25,
Jeremy Madden, and Madden does not pick up much.
Well, they may stop Jeremy now and then. You'll get a play where you'll stop him. You get another play where he'll stop him, but he is a hard runner. Lynn considers him one of the best, if not the best, running back in Covcat history. And he's getting it off tackle. You may stop him a couple times, but he'll break some runs.
2nd and 8 for the Colonels. The handoff once again to Madden. A flag is on the play as Madden gets out near
number 25, Jeremy Madden on the carry.
The first down marker. We'll have to see what the flag is all about, though. And they're going to call a procedure infraction against Covcat.
I didn't see that. I'm not sure what they called there.
So they'll mark it off back to the 5-yard line. The defensive lineup for the Tigers looks like this. Nathan Asquith, Eddie Deason, Josh Panuski, and Travis McGee are the linemen. Joyner, Hampton, and Pierce are your linebackers. And in the backfield, it's Hayes, Catlett, Pinner, and Benson. So it's 2nd and 13 now for the Colonels. Give up the middle, and that is number 33 for Covcat, Pat McDermott.
Pat doesn't run the ball much for him. He blocks more, but he has had some good gains up the middle for him. They'll occasionally give it to him once or twice a game on a fullback dive.
You mentioned when we were talking before, Dale, that Tom Foey has been in the backfield for Covcat most of the season. He has now been almost used exclusively on defense.
He had some shoulder problems a couple of weeks ago, and they've been playing him strictly on defense since then.
3rd and 5 now for Covington. And Keys is going to keep it in, go up the middle. He's got a lot of room to go. And Keys will be stopped out around the 33-yard line, well beyond the first down marker, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Colonels.
That has been a great play for Covington Catholic all year. They split him out wide with 2 receivers both sides and ran the quarterback draw up the middle. Jared Keys has done that play well all season long.
So Covington lines up 1st and 10. 2 runners in the backfield, and the give goes to Madden. Madden struggles it out to the 40-yard line. Nice pickup for Jeremy Madden.
Covington's offensive line is big and does a good job of opening holes for Jeremy, but Jeremy just has a way of getting that extra yard.
Jeremy rushed for 1,316 yards coming into today's game. That's an average of 5.5 yards per carry. Not a bad average.
No, he's a good hard-nosed back.
He's got 35 yards rushing so far this afternoon. And he'll pick up some more as Madden gets out close to midfield. He stopped right around the Covington 47. And that'll be enough yardage for a 1st down.
Jeremy's the leader of that Covington Catholic offense. You'll see him talking to his linemen, getting after him when he thinks they need it, and patting them on the back when they're doing a good job.
So the Colonels will line things up right around the 47. 2 wideouts to the near side. Keys going to roll out once again. And he comes out to the near side, and he's going to be dropped maybe for about a pickup of about 1. Looks like they're going to mark him down around the 48.
And that was Artuz Pinner who made the tackle on him. I think that's going to be a key to this game. Hopkinsville playing 6 guys both ways.
You see Keys coming toward the near sideline on the replay. Keys rushing this year for 312 yards. He averages 3.8 yards a carry. Now, of course, a lot of that rushing is by design. It's not like he's getting flushed out.
That's right. And the plays that he's designed to run it, he's been more successful on. A lot of those, that low yards per carry, is because he's been sacked sometimes, which cuts into that.
And Jeremy Madden slipped down, it looked like, on that particular run. The turf out here at Cardinal Stadium is very hard out there, and it can be tough to get your traction.
Jeremy had some ankle problems this year, but he looks like he's recovered and ready to go.
So it'll be 3rd and 9 from the Colonel 47, I'll mark it at 48-yard line. Keys back to pass, looks downfield, and he's got a man open, and that'll be close to a 1st down. Number 49 for the Colonels brought that one in, and that was Nick Lanham. And it looks like they're going to mark him just past the sticks. It'll be good for a 1st down. So Covington Catholic driving very nicely here on its 1st possession.
This is what Covington Catholic needs to do. It's got another big 3rd down conversion there. Jared Keys hung in there in the pocket and found his open guy. It's an impressive 1st drive for them.
Ball on the Tiger 42-yard line. Keys back to pass once again. He's got a man downfield, and he overthrows. That was number 30, Mark Reardon.
He was covered by Wilbur Benson. It's tough to shake him.
Benson with those jets, of course. And I'm kind of surprised, you know, you wonder if they really try to pick on someone else besides him, being that he is so quick.
Well, Hopkinsville gives you a bunch of different fronts and a bunch of different coverages, and you're not really sure who you're going to wind up with on your primary receiver.
This quarter going by fairly fast. We got 2:58 left. 2nd down and 10 for the Colonels. The handoff to Madden. Madden up the middle, picks up some big yardage. So they're going to mark him about a yard shy of the 1st down marker. So it'll be 3rd and 1 for the Colonels.
This is a counter play, and you can see Jeremy Madden there just finding those extra yards. He's not a guy who each play is looking to break a big one. He's a guy who's looking to maintain the drive and get the first down. 3rd and 1, big player, and they've got their big guys in.
3 men in the backfield. Madden gets the ball. It looks like he may have just squeezed his way forward for enough for the first.
Yeah, I think they got it. They had Tim Wolf in there at tight end, and they like to run it at him.
And the official gives the first down indication. Madden now with 26 yards on 6 carries.
Bob Knoll, the offensive coordinator for Covington Catholic, is doing an excellent job of mixing it up on this first drive.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line.
Covington Catholic's in an overbalanced formation.
Madden twisting and spinning his way down to about the 27, where he is tackled.
This is a typical Covington Catholic drive.
During last year's game against Hopkinsville, what did you find that worked well for your team?
Well, in the first half, it was 14-0, and it could have been 21-0 them. That we had a tough time moving it on them early.
Madden up the middle, and it looks like he's going to get in for the touchdown.
Jeremy Madden,
yes, he does.
touchdowns.
So Jeremy Madden picks up a 28-yard touchdown. And Covington Catholic, just like that, drives 90 yards and goes up 6-0.
Well, that's a great start for Covington Catholic. They did exactly what they want to do. You can see Jeremy just finding his way, beat Wilbur Benson there out in the open field and went all the way. Jeremy is excellent at making those quick cuts and making you miss.
Kevin gets in for the extra point, kick is up, and it is good.
Dusing Brothers Ice is a proud sponsor of Northern Kentucky sports. Dusing Brothers Ice on Dixie Highway in Erlanger stands for quality. Quality from the start, from the purest and cleanest ice to the best service and the friendliest people. Dusing Brothers Ice has stood behind their quality for over 65 years. Quality service to the entire greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. Whenever you shop, if you see a Dusing Brothers Ice box, tell them you saw it on TKR Cable. Dusing Brothers Ice on Dixie Highway in Erlanger. Stop in soon.
Looking for a truck? Then visit Truck City. Airport Ford is Truck City. We've ordered over 100 Explorers and Rangers, over 50 minivans, over 300 trucks in all, with savings up to $6,000, rebates up to $2,000, and financing as low as 2.9 APR. Airport Ford is Truck City. Airport Ford at the Burlington Pike exit, Florence, Kentucky, right next to the Florence Mall.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. Make a call, make a call, make a call, call.
John's our first caller. You're on the press box. Marvin, Don, Trivia Bob from Fort Thomas. You're on the press box.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Bob. Chris. Tony. John from Newport. We've got Tyler. Dwight. You're on. Bill from Ludlow. You're on the press box. Aaron. Dexter.
Hang up and try again.
Gary Burbank, very special guest. I ran into Gary, didn't hurt him. You know, Gary, the only worst Cool Ghoul impersonation I know of is a waitress down at Covington, Chile.
Do it one time. Do it one time. Can you do it?
I never do. I try not to do it without the costume on, because I feel like a fool. I'm a grown person.
Like a fool. It's such an articulate thing to have to do.
For Gary Burbank.
Yes! I won a bet just then. I told someone I could get you to do that on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So sandbagged again.
So the Colonels get ready to kick off once again to the Tigers.
The last time they kicked off, they squib kicked it. They wanted to keep it away from Wilbur Benson. They kicked it up to one of their up backs, pinned him in at about the 30-yard line. I imagine they'll do the same thing. In fact, I think they'll punt. If they have to punt this game, they'll try to punt it away from him.
Well, speaking with Lynn Ray earlier this week, that's what his plan was to keep the ball away from the Tigers' quick backs. And there is the squib kick. It manages to find its way down to about the 18-yard line where, well, I'll tell you what, the tackle made on the 14-yard line by Cubcat.
That's Brad Roach. Brad is a a running back for them, returns their punts and kicks for him, and he's an athletic guy too.
There you see Benson.
Yep, he's going to try to take it around all of them. Roach comes up and makes an excellent play. Boy, now they've got them pinned down there inside the 15.
Hoptown now with 19 yards total offense compared with Covington Catholic's 88. 1st and 10 from the 15. Clay Carroll, the handoff to Pinner. And Artus gets out near the 1st-yard marker before he is taken down.
Well, that's got to be what they have to do. If they're going to beat Covington Catholic, they have got to get it to Artus. They've got to run at him 25, 30 times.
They're gonna take a measurement for the 1st down to see how close he is.
Tom Foey wrapped him up after some help from Ryan Pfeiffer, and he wasn't going to let him go.
And the measurement looks like he's going to be just a couple inches short. Maybe just 1 inch short.
Yeah.
That was tight. It'll be 2nd and 1 from just shy of the 25-yard line of the Tigers.
Those Colonel fans had to be cold without their shirts on.
I'd tell you, there were some Beechwood fans in the crowd yesterday without their shirts on. They were shivering. So the Tigers come up to the line. I'm going to guess a handoff to... Well, they've got Benson and looks like...
I think that's Travis Hampton back there with him. Travis Hampton's their short yardage guy. They call him Oogie.
Well, Carroll keeps it, and he gets enough for the 1st down as he gets across the 25.
Yeah, he was hitting the backfield. They almost wrapped him up, but he kept his legs driving, got the 1st down.
Oogie, I like that name.
Oogie, that's a name for a fullback. You got to have an Oogie on the team.
That's right.
Ooh, that is Tim Wolf coming up there and smacking him. But he had to just come running up flying to hit him, and the quarterback was able to keep his feet going.
So Carroll gets the 1st down. It is 1st and 10 from just right past the 25. The handoff to Hampton, and Oogie gets out past the 1st down marker before he's taken down right around the 43-yard line of the Tigers. A nice pickup.
It was a quick-hitting, wide play for them, and I think that's what Hopkinsville has got to do. See how he gets this outside right now.
Manages to shake off a few tacklers and picking up that yardage.
That's number 7, Tom Beecham over there on the tackle. Tom's had a great year for him. He's their only junior starter on that senior-dominated team on the defense.
So the Tigers 1st and 10, and there's a stoppage of play. The ball was spotted right about the 44-yard line of Hoptown.
They were going to run the quick pitch out to Pinner. And it looked like Cov Cath had it played.
I don't see a flag out there. I'm wondering if perhaps someone called timeout.
End of the 1st quarter.
End of the 1st quarter. That's a good reason for it. So after 1, we've got a score of Cov Cath 7, Hoptown 0. We'll come back with the 2nd quarter after this.
Slow credit, no credit. Hi, Ron Bitter, Mike Albert Superstores. Did you know Mike Albert has guaranteed credit approval with a local bank? We also have a large selection of late models, certified cars, trucks, and vans. All vehicles have a 3-day money-back guarantee and a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We have 2 locations in Northern Kentucky, Florence and Southgate, where customer satisfaction is #1.
Hi,
Hi, my name is Dawn from Florence. You're watching TKR6, Northern Kentucky's N channel.
Covington Catholic, on the strength of a 90-yard drive, is up 7-0 as we start play in the second quarter. Hopkinsville, 1st and 10 on their own 44-yard line. And Carroll back to pass. He's looking downfield, and he way overthrows Wilbur Benson. Wilbur's fast, but he's not quite that fast.
That's right. He got it too close to the middle of the field. Covcath had it played well. It was a good idea, though, for Hopkinsville.
That was Tom Foey back on defense for the Colonels.
Yeah, Tom and number 88, Brian Voorhees. Brian's had a good season for him. Their defensive backs at the start of the year, I think, were a little inappropriately criticized. I think they've got an excellent defensive backfield group.
The pitch out to Pinner. Pinner hit at the line, and he's dragged down, picks up about 3 or 4 yards.
Well, you can see that's what Covington Catholic was going into the game to stop, and I think that's what Hopkinsville has to do. They've got to be able to get it outside to R2s.
You see R2 spinning around and avoiding a couple of tacklers, picks up, looks like 4 yards as they're going to officially mark it as 3rd and 6 for the Tigers. They'll be on the Hoptown 48-yard line.
Nick Tremaine was there to make the tackle.
Hoptown with a receiver down to the near side, and the handoff goes to number 5. That is Brandon Hayes, and he's wrapped up. And I think they may even mark him for a loss.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's going to get it done for Hopkinsville. I think they've got to get it to Oogie and get it to R2s and make Covcath tackle those guys.
Well, it's going to be 4th and 9 on the Hoptown 45-yard line.
You don't fake out Covington Catholic too often.
Into punt is Greg Turner once again, and we have a flag this time.
Flag on the play.
Greg Turner, as we were mentioning before, a soccer player. He and place kicker Mitch Cutoff both played on the soccer team this fall, did not play football. The soccer coach feeling that he wanted his players to stay with one sport during the season. After the season was over, they came out and played on the football team, and in fact, Cutoff is a all-region player for the Tigers, so he's no slouch. I guess I can understand his coach wanted him to be out there all the time for his team.
Well, I think that's neat. I think that says something for the Hopkinsville football and soccer team to work together through the season and getting ready here for the playoffs.
The penalty was a 5-yard mark-off against the Tigers, and the punt goes down to about the 25-yard line.
Well, Hopkinsville was lucky they didn't start off with a penalty earlier there on roughing the
receiver.
The receiver,
yes.
Yeah, he clearly made a fair catch, and Wilbur didn't hit him all that hard, but he did bump into him. Then they seemed to talk about it for a while, and then they threw the flag.
That's number 20, Tom Huller, gathering it in. And it's number 1, Wilbur Benson, with the contact.
Now, they could have called a flag right there, but the ref didn't until Hopkinsville seemed to come over and discuss it with him for a while. They may have gotten a personal foul for the discussion after the play.
It was a 35-yard kick off the foot of Greg Turner. Referee is still discussing what they're going to do.
Yeah, they've got to talk here. Now,
you can see that Benson clearly makes contact. Now, whether or not the fair catch was signaled for, I'm wondering if that's what they're trying to discuss with Huller, in which case there really shouldn't be a flag because nothing illegal was done if that is the case.
Well, there wasn't that big of a hit. They could have let that hit go away and then just gone on, played 1st and 10 and gone on and played football. Hopkinsville looks a little rattled here right now.
Well, there you see the fair catch signal.
Oh, yeah, it's a definite. He definitely made a fair catch. Wilbur Benson was looking up at the ball and didn't see the fair catch signal, then saw him catch it and thought he was running it, heard the whistle, I think, and it was what held up.
Maybe the discussion is whether or not Huller was running the ball after a fair catch signal, which, of course, is illegal.
Yeah, and he wasn't. He just took a couple of steps afterwards.
Well, they called an illegal procedure play against Hoptown, but it will be refused. Hoptown with 3 penalties for a total of 20 yards thus far, and there is, well, offsetting illegal procedure. I guess they said that Huller ran the ball after the fair catch, and then he was hit by Benson, so they'll negate any penalties, and the Colonels will have a 1st down and 10 on the 26-yard line.
They could have done that all with no flag right from the start. Hopkinsville actually has some history going for them. The last couple of years in AAA, a team has lost the year before and then gone on to win the next year.
There we go with, that was number 25, Jeremy Madden up the middle, and he looks like he's picked up the 1st down, or at least he's close. Now they're going to mark it right about the 36-yard line, which that should be enough, although they will take a measurement.
If you see on that last play, that was a nice block by their offensive tackle, Ryan Kendall. Covington Catholic's offensive line is doing a fine job of opening holes. Jeremy's finding them and slicing through.
And they do give him the 1st down on the 36-yard line. Madden once again picking up big yardage once again. This time he's out to the 45-yard line before he's taken down. Looked like Benson was in on the tackle.
Hopkinsville's frustrated right now. Covington Catholic's got the momentum. They could get a 2nd touchdown right here and really hurt them.
There you see Madden making the moves.
Jeremy is a nice slicing running back. They're looking to do the same thing again.
2nd and 1 for the Colonels. The quick handoff up the middle. That's 33. Pat McDermott.
Yep, that's a 2nd fullback dive they've given to him right up the middle. I think he got the 1st down.
Madden so far in the game, 77 yards rushing for the Colonels. He's having a terrific afternoon. And McDermott's run up the middle was enough for the 1st down. Colonels have the ball now on their own 47-yard line.
Well, as I'm sure Jeremy Madden often does, he gives the credit to that offensive line he's got in front of him. It's a big, strong, tough offensive line led by 74 Kirk Doolin.
The handoff once again to Madden. Madden gets out around midfield before he's taken down. Looks like number 46 for the Tigers was in on the tackle. That would be, oh, they're going to say number 45. Excuse me,
that's
Travis Hampton. I was going to say, I didn't see a number 46 on my roster.
You can see that Covington Catholic offensive line is just opening the holes. Hampton came across there unblocked that time and made the tackle, but it was still for a 3-yard gain.
And we're going to have a stoppage in play as the penalty flag has been dropped.
Hopkinsville came off sides.
That'll put the ball down in which that is the call, offsides. So it'll be a 2nd and 2 situation now for the Colonels.
That was number, I think, 52, yeah, William Bruno. He hasn't played a bunch of defense this year for Hopkinsville. Sometimes you just get a little over-enthused there.
So the Colonels come up to the line with 2 runners in the backfield, split out wides. And the handoff goes once again to Madden, and Madden gets down. Looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st. Be very close if he doesn't.
That was their counter play. They've basically been running 2 plays at Hopkinsville. They'll run the off-tackle play with the fullback leading, and then they'll take a step that way and give it to him back coming the other way. You can see Jeremy breaking through that first arm tackle, getting, if not the 1st down, awfully close to it.
Bill, you mentioned the history of teams coming to the 3A state final, losing one year and then coming back to win the next. Well, obviously, Hoptown looking to pick up the win this year. The coach of Hoptown, Craig Clayton, his father coached the 1963 state championship and won, and it was against.
Yeah, that was Caldwell County.
It was Caldwell County, right, and it was against.
I'm not sure.
It was against the Highlands Bluebirds.
Is that right?
Coached
in 1963?
1963. And they were coached by.
Would that have, no, that wouldn't have been Homer Rice.
Would that have been Owen Houck?
Owen Houck, I bet that's right. That would make the first father-son coaching group that won state championship.
You're correct, as Madden picks up the first down.
They are just not stopping Covington Catholic. I tell you, this is a football game right here. If Covington Catholic can continue this drive and go in and score, it is going to put Hopkinsville in a big hole.
As you mentioned, the Colonels wearing down, it looks like. The defense, Hoptown obviously playing a lot of kids both ways. How much of a factor will that be as the game wears on?
Well, it may be a factor more so in the second half.
As Keys hands off to Madden. Not much there on this play. Looks like he picked up about 3.
It's nice for the weekend practice because Covington Catholic's offensive guys were just practicing all week long against Hopkinsville's defense. Covington Catholic's defensive guys were practicing all week long against Hopkinsville's offense, where the guys on Hopkinsville had to be working full-time on both.
Right. Well, Fred Clayton in that 1963 game for Caldwell County coached his team to a 14-7 win over Highlands.
Is that right?
Looking for the score, I couldn't find it. There it is. Keys now with a pass downfield. It's just off the fingertips.
That's Mark Reardon. Mark is the use of Mark Reardon as a football player this year has been a real key to Covington Catholic's success. He's got great hands, a real athletic guy. There, he beats Artus off the ball, and it's just overthrown. But Mark has done an excellent job at tight end. He's a really good blocker. He's got great hands. Sometimes they'll put him back in the backfield when they go their power eye. He's run the ball back there. He's a key to their success.
This time it's a Matt.
And that could go all the way down inside the 5.
So
that was a draw play.
A lot of yardage to his numbers this afternoon. Wilbur Benson saving the touchdown.
They are ready to put them away right now.
That was a 20-yard pickup.
Look at the hole. Jeremy hits it, running full blast. And Jeremy's running right there with Wilbur Benson.
So Covcath has it 1st and goal now on the 5-yard line.
And they're going to run it, Wolf. There they go.
Madden into the pile, picks up a yard.
They had Wolf at the left tight end. Reardon back there at the power back, and they ran the power play. Didn't gain a lot. And they'll do other stuff. They'll come back, fake it that way, come back the other way, run the keep.
Second and goal now from the 4 for the Colonels.
Same formation for them. Quarterback sneak on a quick snap.
And Keys takes it down to about the 2-yard line.
That was a good call, again, by Bob Knoll. He's doing a great job keeping Hopkinsville off balance. They really weren't ready for that quick snap. Good line surge.
So the Colonels looking at 3rd and goal now from the 2. Split outs wide to the right, and Keys turns around and calls a timeout for Covcat.
Well, I think they had the guys in they wanted to have in, but they just got a little bit confused.
For a weekly dose of Northern Kentucky sports, be sure to watch the Press Box live on Wednesdays at 1 p.m. TKR Sports Director Don Weber, Kentucky Post Sports Editor Richard Skinner, and Recorder Newspaper Sports Editor Tom Embry discuss the issues and teams that are Northern Kentucky, and they'll take your phone calls as well. That's the Press Box live on Wednesdays at 1, with replays Wednesday and Thursday evenings at 7 on TKR 6, Northern Kentucky's own channel. And they will no doubt be discussing the games this weekend, this coming up week on the press box.
This is a big play for Covington Catholic right now. They've got 3rd and 2. If they can get this ball into the end zone, go up 13, and with the extra point, 14-0, it would be big for them. If Hopkinsville can hold them, make them kick a field goal, they're still in the ball game.
Now, Covcat called a timeout. Do you think Keys saw something that he just didn't like defensively?
No, I think time was running down for him, and they just wanted to make sure they got the play in.
Well, we're going to have another stoppage of plays. Keys looks like he was going to drop back to pass this time. And an illegal procedure call will be going against the Colonels.
I didn't see that. I don't know what they called against Covington Catholic there. Somebody must have been moving.
There you see Lynn Ray on the sidelines, and he's wondering, asking for an explanation as well. But they'll mark it off back to the 7-yard line where it'll be 3rd and goal.
Well, Covington Catholic can still score from here. Jared Keys has done a fine job getting the ball out to the receivers. Instead of going 3 wides, though, they've come in here with Jeremy in the backfield.
That's the 3rd penalty called against Covington Catholic. The fake to, and now the pass.
And he,
close.
It looked to me like he was in, but they're going to mark it down inside the 1. That's to Mark Reardon.
Yeah.
Fake the play to Jeremy Madden, put it out there to him, and that was a great catch.
So Hoptown holds on 3rd and 7. 3rd and goal from the 7, I guess, if you will.
Great fake. Look at that ball to Mark Reardon. He just hung with it, pulled it down. I think they're going to go for it.
Well, a timeout has been called. I believe this one also will go against Covington Catholic, as the coaching staff will discuss what they want to do.
Well, they want to make sure they get the right play in here. They're inside the 1. I think they're going to bring in their big guys. Yep, there's Tim Wolf coming into the game. Tim's the leader of this group. He wants it bad. Like I said before, his brothers have all won. He wants a state championship.
Well, don't forget the Norse Report on TKR Cable. It's all about NKU basketball. It's all about the Norse and the Lady Norse. It's the Norse Report live at 1 Mondays on TKR 6 with replays Monday and Tuesday evenings at 7:30. Hosted by TKR Sports Director Don Weber, the Norse Report features men's head basketball coach Ken Shields and women's head basketball coach Nancy Winstall. The Norse Report only on TKR 6, Northern Kentucky's own channel.
4th and 1, inside the 1.
The handoff.
He keeps it, and he's in. They're not.
He's going to be dropped, looks like, on about the 2-yard line. He's pushed out of bounds. Boy, he looked like he had a space to go inside.
I thought he had it. It was a great call. They closed it up well inside. They bounced it outside, and I thought he was there, but Wilbur Benson made a great athletic play.
Yes, he did. Here we go. Benson put the brakes on him, and Hayes finished him off.
Yep.
So Hoptown will take over deep in its own territory. Looks like they're going to mark it on about the 3-yard line.
Is it a penalty? It looks to me like
referees are discussing.
Covington Catholics still has their offense in the game.
Well, they're saying that it's... Right now, Hoptown is calling a timeout. Now, the scoreboard has 4th and 1. Did we have the wrong down, perhaps? Anyhow, timeout is out on the field.
I don't really know what happened there. Hopkinsville's coaches were down on the ground.
The timeout has been charged to Hoptown, and the coaching staff is out there talking, and definitely they have the offensive line out there for Covington Catholic.
Did we make a mistake and think that that was 3rd down?
So Covcat will line it up. 4th and goal from inside the 1-yard line this time.
They called an inadvertent whistle, I think.
Well, anyhow, Madden gets the ball this time, and he's in the end zone for the touchdown.
They called an inadvertent whistle.
On the last play?
It was on 4th and 1. It was such a good fake to Jeremy Madden. They tackled him. The ref blew the whistle.
Okay.
Now they give it to him this time. and they take it in. And that was a good block there by Tim Wolf. You know, it hasn't been just talk with him wanting to win a state championship. There, when it was 4th and 1, he opened the hole.
So Kevin Getz will try it for the extra point, and it hits the upright and goes through. How about that? Well, everything's going right when you get a second chance on 4th down and you can hit the upright on the extra point, Dale.
This has been a golden year for Covington Catholic.
Let's go down on the field to Wes Wright. Wes, what you got down there?
Trip, the explanation I'm getting down here on the field is pretty much what Dale said. One of the referees apparently thought Jeremy Madden got the handoff on that play, thought his progress was stopped and blew the whistle. The official didn't know that Jared Keys had kept the football. So that's the explanation we're getting down here on the inadvertent whistle play that gives Covington Catholic an extra chance.
Well, I'm glad to know that I'm not going senile in my young age, I guess.
Now, I would think that that inadvertent whistle would stop the play, not give them an additional play, but that is the rule, that will give them another
extra
play.
Wow.
That doesn't seem fair.
Not if you're Hoptown, that's for certain, because I mean they definitely had Keys wrapped up and stopped inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
And an unfortunate break for them, but you have to kind of live with those in life.
Well, to get to this game, the officials have to be rated top officials. No doubt this is a quality group, but that sure hurt them.
Well, the kickoff will go along the ground, and it is fumbled right around the 22-yard line before Artos Pinner picks it up. Artos breaking away from some tacklers. Artos getting some more tacklers shrugged off. And now, Artos is still up, and now he's going to be dropped right around the 24-yard line. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun watching Artos Pinner with the football.
It is. I think he made 6 guys miss that time, and it was a heck of a run, but the end result of it is now it's their ball and they're inside the 25-yard line. Covington Catholic is doing a good job of split kicking it to them, and they've had excellent kick coverage.
There you'll see him pick up the ball. And he comes from one side of the field almost back to the 10-yard. Well, he goes inside his own 10-yard line and comes all the way across the field. I tell you, even though he only picked up a few yards, he ran about 50 yards on that play.
That's right.
Now we get the pitch out to Pinner as he goes along the far sideline. Shrugs off a couple of plays, or a couple of players before he's dropped inside the 25-yard line.
Well, Covington Catholic is doing it. They're doing what they had to do to win this game. They're controlling the ball on offense. They're not letting Artus get outside.
Of course, well, there you see the replay. Lynn Ray, talking this week, said the key for him is they have to stop this man, Artus Pinner.
And they're doing it.
2nd and 9 for the Tigers, just shy of the 25-yard line. Carroll looking to pass, fires it downfield.
It's interception. Ryan Pfeiffer. I tell you, Ryan's job on defense this year has been a real key. Tim Wolf's the leader, but Ryan Pfeiffer's done an outstanding job for Covington Catholic.
Carroll was looking for Brandon Hayes and simply threw it a little too short. I don't know if he didn't see Pfeiffer down there or what exactly happened, but Pfeiffer picked it off.
He got it underthrown, and Ryan made a great reaction to the ball. If Covington Catholic can come here with a 3rd touchdown before the half, it's going to be big for them.
So it's 1st and 10 just inside the Tiger 45-yard line. Dual backs in the backfield, and Madden gets the ball once again up the middle. He picks up about 3 yards. And now a late flag on the play.
It looks like it's against Covington Catholic.
Although, well, it's going to be, was that a hold that he called?
That was a personal foul.
Personal foul, okay. I was going to say, a late flag like that, you wouldn't expect to see a hold.
No. That's the 2nd one they've got on Covington Catholic.
You can pick it up here in the replay, what happened exactly. See Madden carrying the football, being tackled.
Well, it couldn't be on Jeremy Madden. He's just running the ball, getting tackled, and getting up.
Didn't look like it. Anyhow, Covington Catholic is now backed up inside their own territory, where it'll be 2nd and 23 from the Colonel's 41. Colonel's now at 40 yards in penalties. And Madden, once again, the carry, he gets out to about the 44-yard line.
Well, that was a good call by Covington Catholic. I think they were, no doubt Hopkinsville was looking for him to go deep. Covington Catholic doesn't need to score right here. They can use a little clock. Maybe Jeremy breaks that one. If not, they can still go in 14-0 at half.
3 minutes now remaining in this first half. It's now 3rd and 21 for the Colonels on their own 44-yard line.
This is Covington Catholic's passing formation.
And yet another flag. Perhaps too much time on this one.
That seemed pretty quick.
The delay is called.
I think they're broiling it in pretty quickly. You know, this is a state championship game. This is two quality football teams. They could leave some of those flags in their pockets and just play this game.
Well, regardless, it'll be 3rd and 26 from the 39-yard line of Covcath. Jared Keys now back in the shotgun formation on an obvious passing down. 5 receivers in for the Colonels.
This is what they did against us. Boy, Covington.
The Tigers swarmed in and took care of business there.
That's been a great formation for them in the playoffs, but Hopkinsville came after him. They had 3 guys in his face before he could turn around.
Nathan Asquith and Josh Panuski in on the tackle for the Tigers. So it's 4th and 35 now on the 30-yard line. And what looked very promising at the beginning of this drive after the interception turns into a backward march.
And they've got Artus and Wilbur Benson back there deep, and they're punting it to them. It's going to go to Benson, and he is dangerous. But they got him, and there was a clip on the play. Hopkinsville is going to have to start the ball back on about their own 30.
So Benson taken down on the 45. Looks like the flag, though, is going to be on about the 42, and they'll mark it from the penalty, I'm assuming.
Yep. That hurt Hopkinsville. You got to give credit to the Covington Catholic kicking game.
Kevin gets the punter for that team. And
there
that was the clip right there. Just outside the 40-yard line, so that'll march Hoptown. Well, they're going to mark it down on the 27. So with just over 2 minutes, Hoptown needs to march 74 yards.
This is the way it was last year. We were down Hopkinsville 14-0. We threw a 70-yard pass right at about this time to Randy Stegman. Got back into the game 14-7.
And
this is what they need to do.
Pinner bounces outside.
And that's Ryan Pfeiffer again. Ryan doing a great job for him. Came up and make that play. I tell you, I can't say enough for that guy. Makes the interception, tackles Artus on the draw.
Pinner hit inside and squirms his way outside on the replay. And they're going to mark the ball down just shy of the 30-yard line, where it'll be 2nd and 7.
That was 64 Eddie Grout getting all the way down there for that play, too, from his defensive tackle position.
The handoff to Pinner once again. He's stopped up the middle, bounces outside, picks up about 5 yards. A nice carry by Pinner.
Yep, Ryan Pfeiffer in again on that tackle, too.
He's everywhere. That'll leave Hoptown about 3 yards short. You see Pinner come out of the pack.
Yep, Pinner wants this game. We haven't heard the end of him yet.
Well, it looks like there's a timeout that has been called on the field. I believe was Covington Catholic that called that timeout?
I'm not sure if that would be their last.
I take that back. It was Hoptown that called timeout.
Yep, because they still have 1 left.
There you see the Colonels gathered over on the sideline. It'll be 3rd and 2 for Hoptown when we get play started back up.
Lynn Ray coordinates the defense for Covington Catholic. Oftentimes the head coach will have the offense and he'll have a defensive coordinator, but Lynn does an outstanding job with the defense of Covington Catholic. And that's year in and year out, that's the strength of their football team.
Well, Lynn's defense doing a fine job thus far against the potent rushing attack of the Hoptown Tigers.
They've got Pfeiffer and Tom Foey back deep, and those are two athletic guys.
A handoff to Pinner. Pinner up the middle. He's got the first down. Colonels take him down right around the 40-yard line.
I don't know if the clock started that time. I thought we had 1:04 left before we ran that play.
Well, the Tigers have an extra play run against them down around the end zone.
Yeah.
This time they get an extra play on offense with no time run off.
I think the Tigers would switch that too.
Yeah, I'm sure they would.
59 seconds.
There's a pass out to
Wilbur Benson.
And Benson picks up about 6 yards before he's dropped out to the 45-yard line.
And who's the tackle? Ryan Pfeiffer once again. Lynn does a nice job of putting him where he expects the ball to be, and he is doing a nice job guessing him. Wilbur fakes out one guy there, two guys. But there's Ryan Pfeiffer making an outstanding play.
Made 3 or 4 guys miss there. Not a bad effort.
Covington Catholic is doing an excellent job, though, of pursuing to the ball. That was their other defensive tackle, Mark Applegate, out there pursuing on that pass right out to the outside. Covington Catholic wants this game. They feel that this is a real important year for their program. The last 2 years they weren't as pleased with themselves, and this year has been a hungry football team for them.
The Colonels have certainly been very emotional. You can see the guys, all of them, lined up on the sideline that aren't even in the game, getting all excited, jumping up and down when their teammates make a good play. So it's 2nd and 4 from the 45-yard line. Carroll back to pass, looking deep downfield, and that one's going to be picked off as well.
By Ryan Pfeiffer.
That's 2 interceptions for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer some room up the sideline, and he's going to be bumped out right about the 48-yard line. They're going to mark him out. They'll have 35 seconds to try to bring it down within field goal range or score a touchdown.
They're going to build a monument to Ryan Pfeiffer at Covington Catholic this year.
The pass once again they were looking for Brandon Hayes, a little underthrown. Well, now we have a penalty that's being marked off against the Colonels.
They called a clip, I'm sure.
And that's going to set them back down around their 20-yard line.
Well, Tim Wolf's coming off the field. He doesn't like to see the clip called. I'm sure he's going to have something to say to the guys at halftime to say, hey, it's not over. It's 14-0. We've got to come back and win this game. There was the clip. That was the clip on number 7, Tom Beecham, who's had a great year for him.
So Covcalf, 1st and 10. There's Madden. Excuse me, take that back. That's not Madden.
Pat McDermott up the middle. That's 3 carries for him, and that's more than he'll see a lot of times in 2 games.
He picks up the first down as he gained about 12 yards on that play. And it'll be 1st down and 10 from the 32.
Yep. And they're going again.
Covcalf in the hurry-up offense. This time Madden gets the ball.
It's McDermott again.
McDermott again. Well,
4 carries for him. McDermott is a good, solid football player, but his strength to the team this year has been more as a blocking back. He also plays some linebacker for them. He's one of the guys who occasionally see some 2-way action.
And that'll be it for the first half as the clock runs down to 0-0. Not a bad showing so far for Covington Catholic. They're up 14-0.
No, they're excited. They're all running off the field. Hopkinsville is down right now. They're going to have to regroup. 14-0. That's not over. You know, they can come back and win that.
And we'll go down on the field as we have Coach Lynn Ray on the sideline with Wes Wright. Wes?
Lynn, what kind of an explanation did you get on the inadvertent whistle down at the other end?
Well, it wasn't an inadvertent whistle. I heard it. They thought our guy ran into the end zone with the ball. They blew the whistle and then they tackled Jared Keys over here. So as a result, the play doesn't exist. Inadvertent whistle, we get another down.
A good play fake that faked out the referee?
Yes, exactly right.
What adjustments do you need to make now? You've held Penner in check.
Really none. All we have to do is keep playing the way we've been playing. We're going to be fine.
All right, Lynn, thanks. Back upstairs, guys.
Okay, so we got the explanation as far as what the referee has said to Coach Lynn Ray about what happened down there, and we were both, I guess, a little confused as to what happened at first.
Yeah, well, there was no signal for the inadvertent whistle. Lynn's living right. You know, you go for it, you get to go again, and sometimes those breaks go against you, but it hasn't been luck that's got it for Covington Catholic this first half. They have clearly outplayed Hopkinsville in the first half. They deserve to be up 14-0. They could be up even more so.
We'll come back with more of halftime right after this.
Looking for a truck? Then visit Truck City. Airport Ford is Truck City. We've ordered over 100 Explorers and Rangers, over 50 minivans, over 300 trucks in all, with savings up to $6,000, rebates up to $2,000, and financing as low as 2.9 APR. Airport Ford is Truck City. Airport Ford at the Burlington Pike exit, Florence, Kentucky, right next to the Florence Mall.
It's Christmas at Mott's Jewelers in Covington, your Christmas idea store.
How about a ring for your wife? Wouldn't your mother just love this lamp?
And these earrings are just what your daughter wanted.
Wouldn't your dad just love this watch?
This'll look great on her desk.
And don't forget to drop a few hints for yourself.
Mott's Jewelers, 613 Madison Avenue in Covington, your Christmas idea store.
Merry Christmas!
Northern Kentucky Magazine is interactive television.
Good morning, Ruth. You have a question for Mike Claire?
Yes, I do. I was watching you and you mentioned the holly tree.
Yes.
I ran out to look at mine, and my leaves are exactly like you showed me on TV.
Okay.
Now, can I spray now, or do I have to wait?
You don't have to wait. Call with your questions every Friday morning at 10 on Northern Kentucky Magazine.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Clay, inviting you to join me every week on TKR6 for Job Connections. We feature some of Northern Kentucky's finest employers with some excellent job opportunities. So if you're looking for a job, or if you want to change jobs, join us every week for Job Connections on TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel.
Halftime drawing to a close. The Covington Colonels are up 14-0 over Hopkinsville. And I tell you what, Dale Mueller, Covcath dominating the halftime stats. Most amazingly, I guess, the Covington Cath Colonels are holding Artos Pinner to 36 yards rushing.
36. He had 415 last week. He got 36 the first half this week. It's been a great defensive effort by the entire Colonels team. They've had great pursuit to the ball. Many times Artus has faked guys out, but there have been other guys there to make the play. And, of course, Ryan Pfeiffer having a phenomenal first half, not only with the 2 interceptions, but a lot of good plays in the open field.
There you see the breakdown. Covcath leading in every statistical area except for yards passing. The total yards, of course, the big change, the big difference as well. 179 for the Colonels, 72 for Hoptown.
Covington Catholic has done a great job of controlling the football. On offense, their offensive line has been opening big holes. It's a big, strong offensive line. Doolin has been the key to that front. And, of course, Jeremy Madden's been making the plays up front. And you got to give credit to Jared Keys, though. There were numerous third down plays where he got the big pass, ran the quarterback draw. He's made the plays that have kept their drives alive.
Of course, the very bizarre drive that ended with the inadvertent whistle. And if Hoptown comes back and this ends up being a 1-touchdown game, boy, isn't that going to be some kind of a controversy?
That will be, but that's football. You know, some of those calls go for you, some go against you. By no means can Hopkinsville feel that they have outplayed Covington Catholic. Covington Catholic dominated that first half of play, and Hopkinsville is going to have to show something here early.
Jim Allen, the head official, and his crew discussing the second half procedures to begin.
I think Covington Catholic's also got good play out of their defensive tackles, Applegate and Grout. I think those are 2 football players. Haven't got a lot of publicity this year, but have been two solid football players. Applegate is more the stronger run stuffer, where Grout gets more of the athletic, get by your guy, make a good swim move, and chase a quarterback or tackle the running back from behind.
Something that, looking at the stats, of course, the time of possession, a big difference as well. 14 minutes and a second for Covcath, 9:59 for Hoptown. Obviously, the long drive, the opening drive for Covington Catholic, where they had to take the ball 90 yards, contributed quite a bit to that time difference.
That was a great drive for Covington Catholic, and they mixed it up so well. They did everything that they needed to do to get the ball down the field. That really set the stage for the game. And now Covington Catholic coming back here in the second half, and they've got the ball to start the half.
The Tigers getting ready to kick off. Quite a few penalties in that first half as well, 11 altogether for a total of 101 yards, 60 yards against Covington Catholic, 41 against Hoptown. And here we go with the second half. It's taken by an up back. That looks like number 34 for Covington Catholic.
Yeah.
And that was a nice run back by the up man as he takes it out of, out across midfield.
Brian Drees. He plays inside linebacker for him. He's a junior. He's a good football player. It surprises me that they're going to squib kick against him. They've got R2, Pinner, and Wilbur Benson on the kickoff. They've got a lot of athletic guys there. They've got a soccer player to kick the ball. I'm surprised they didn't kick it deep.
Well, it's 1st and 10 for the Colonels on their own 49-yard line. The handoff to Madden, and Madden's going to be stopped after just a very short gain. He was hitting the backfield, almost got stopped for a loss.
There wasn't anything there for him. Hopkinsville really stacked up the play early on. They seemed to really commit guys to the front. You can't really see it here on the replay, but they had 8 guys right up there at the line of scrimmage.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 from midfield for the Colonels. Colonels now have 2 receivers on the far side, 1 on the short side. And the play action fake, and that ball is batted down.
Oh, and that was a touchdown, Trip.
Was it?
If they get it over his head, they were going to get the ball to Reardon, and he was going to go 50 yards with it. There was nobody there with him. Nice fake, and look, you can see nobody is there with him. They had two wides to that side, 1 wide to the other side. Reardon was going to go 50 yards with it.
A nice defensive play made by Travis Hampton.
They were lucky to stop him there.
Another play action fake to Madden, and this time the completion is made. That's number 20.
Depending upon the spot, that should be a first down.
As Tom Holler, it looks like they're going to make it real close.
I think they got it. They fake it again, the draw to Jeremy Madden, and they've run that draw with success. Jared Key staying in there, throwing it not too, really wasn't that wide open, but Jared did a nice job of getting the ball in there to him.
And they're bringing the chains out to see if indeed it will be another first down for the Colonels.
I thought he had it.
And looks like by about the nose.
Oh, by an inch. Covington Catholic is living right.
Yes, they are. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Colonels from the Tiger 41-yard line. 10:53 and counting in this 3rd quarter.
Covington Catholic's overbalanced formation there.
2 receivers out on the far side. This time the hand up the middle. That was number 38 for the Colonels, Matt Day.
Matt Day was the MVP of their game against Holmes in the snow. He came in fullback. He's a junior. They like to run him up the middle. He's a good athletic runner.
Matt Day, a 6', 200-pound junior running back. Also gets in on linebacker sometimes as well. Same formation as the the previous play, and once again, the ball
he's going to go all the way.
That's 33, Pat McDermott, and he scores.
Touchdown, Covington Catholic.
A 36-yard run for Pat McDermott, the up back, and Covington Catholic goes up 20-0.
I tell you, Tripp, I just don't think there's a stop to him now. Hopkinsville had to make a statement there early. You don't see it much, but McDermott's open loose, open in the middle.
And it was smooth sailing after he got past that initial defensive line.
Yep, take it right down the field. That was a nice play for Covington Catholic.
Gets the ball up, and this time the extra point is good. Covington Catholic now up 21-0 over top of the Hopkinsville Tigers. And that was a nice drive, as you mentioned, Dale, for the Colonels.
Well, they did a good job again on 3rd and long. They completed the pass just enough for a first down, got it by an inch, gave it to their fullback, and he went about 40 yards.
How demoralizing do you feel that the Tigers are feeling right now, being that, you know, they had a controversial call go against them, and now they come out and the first drive against them goes in for a score?
Well, they're struggling right now. They had a great win last week against Louisville Valley. They were on top of the world, and things just have not gone well for them now. This Hopkinsville team has a lot of character, though. That's not over for them yet. They started off the season with a big loss against Bowling Green. They fought back, and they're not going to pitch. You know, they're not going to roll over and die. They've got Artus back deep. They're looking for the squib kick. They've got to get something going right now to get back into this game.
Artus Pinner, as you mentioned, is still in there for them. He averages 219 yards rushing a game. The GovCath D has been very impressive in the first half, holding him to 36 yards rushing.
Well, you've got to give credit to Covington Catholic. They've been well prepared for him. They're executing their plan. And you got to give credit to Covington Catholic.
Well, the wind obviously blowing very strongly down on the field. Number 7 for the GovCath Colonels, Tom Beecham, is having to hold the ball for the kickoff from Kevin Getz.
I never wanted to be that guy that had to hold that ball.
And this time Getz uses that wind to his advantage and knocks it halfway through the end zone.
Covington Catholic is on a roll.
So the Tigers will start out 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. And we'll see if the Tigers were able to make any adjustments offensively to try to solve the GovCath defense.
Well, they've had so many things to worry about. Offensively, defensively, and special teams, Covington Catholic has dominated throughout.
Tigers with split wideouts and a pair of backs in the backfield. Artus just does make it back to the line of scrimmage.
And there wasn't anything there for him. Covington Catholic is just dominating that line of scrimmage.
He was hitting in the backfield, I guess, a couple yards deep, and was lucky to get back to the line.
Yeah, well, that was number 37 for Covington Catholic, Nick Germain. He's been playing defensive end for him a good bit of the year, and he stuffed him up at the line of scrimmage. So there wasn't any place for him to go.
2nd and 10 for the Tigers. This time the give, once again to Pinner. And Pinner will be dropped in the backfield this time.
And that's Ryan Pfeiffer once again. They faked it the other way. Ryan stayed at home and came up and made the play. That's the fake to Oogie. Didn't fake out Covington Catholic at all. There's Pfeiffer. There's 65, Applegate pursuing to the ball. 84, Matt Reardon. That's the brother of Mark Reardon on offense, who just was in on the play before, also pursuing over there to the play.
We'll talk about the Reardons after this play. It's 3rd and 12 for the Tigers from their own 18-yard line. Carroll back to pass, and he has Pinner over the middle. Pinner, enough yardage for the first down, gets out to about the 34-yard line.
That was a nice pass. You know, they have thrown for over 1,000 yards this year. They can throw the ball. It gets a little overwhelmed with Artus running the ball. There they pass to him, get a big first down.
We're talking about the Reardons, Mark and twin brother Matt. They both want to be Air Force pilots, and they're checking out the Air Force Academy as a possible college choice. They're also looking at Miami University, and who knows, maybe in a few years you'll be riding along in an airplane, all of a sudden you'll see somebody that you knew as a football opponent one time driving the plane. Pitch out this time goes to Pinner. Pinner looks like he's going to have enough for another first down as he gets out near the 45-yard line.
Well, this is what I expected from Hopkinsville. I expected him to get the ball to Artus, get him wide, throw some balls to him. Here they get it to him right now. He makes a nice move, gets downfield for about 10 yards. Tim Wolf's out there in on the play. And that was number 62 for Covington Catholic. Dave Bott, who I don't even know. He's a junior playing nose guard for him, and they've gone into their 5 lineman look.
That's Bowdy is how they pronounce that one. It's
I don't even know him. He's a junior. I guess I'll find out more about him in the future.
Well, there's a first down for the Tigers. This time the ball goes to, looks like it was Pinner once again, and he's taken down for a loss.
Nick Germain and Applegate both in on the play. But they've got to keep doing that. They've got to get the ball to Artus. They've got to make some plays happen with him. Artus kind of bounced that out wide, and Germain was there waiting for him.
So it'll be 2nd and 12 from the 43-yard line of the Tigers. Split wideouts. Now man in motion for Hoptown.
Yeah.
Pitch to Artus, and he's going to go out near midfield.
That was a nice play for him. They motioned into a trips look out there and had Oogie out there blocking for Artus. And it was a good-looking play for him.
It'll be 3rd down and about 5 yards.
Tim Wolf is the guy that makes the play.
Now Artus is having a little bit of a problem with his helmet. Let me get things all fixed. He'll come back to the huddle.
Yeah, sometimes referees will make a guy sit out a play for that, and I really like to see them give a little hand, get his helmet back in line, and not have to take a starter off the field for a play.
Well, now we will have somebody come off the field. That's number 50, Darnell Wallace.
Yeah.
Darnell, one of the, he's a left guard on the offense, getting some looks from Cincinnati and some of the schools in the OVC. Didn't know if he was hurt or not, but didn't look like he was going full speed when he was running off.
No, he's a big guy. He's an important part of their offensive line.
And now it's 3rd and 5 from midfield. The I formation for the Tigers. And off to Pinner, and Pinner gets the first down and a few yards extra as well. You know, it seems that, you know, Pinner is picking up his yardage now this half, but he's not really getting it very easily. He's getting hit, he's getting bumped around a lot, and it's not like he's got open field to run through.
That's right. He got up through there better than he has been. But there's a swarm of Covington Catholic tacklers there to tackle him. First one was Tom Foey, who hit him and made him slow down and allowed time for everybody else to get to him.
Ball marked at the 39-yard line of the Covington Catholic Colonels. Will be 1st and 10. This time,
it's a fumble. They got it back.
Carroll hops right on top of it.
They just can't afford to do those kind of things and get back into the game.
That could be a possible thing due to the cold weather. The hands get a little tight, and it gets hard to hang on to the football sometimes. Hoptown with 41 yards, 3 first downs on this drive.
Well, this is Hopkinsville's best drive, and they are getting the ball down the field. They need a score here. Covington Catholic, though, is doing a nice job of making them use some clock to get the ball down into the end zone.
There's a loss of 2 on that exchange. 2nd and 12. Carroll back to pass, throws it out there, and that's going to be picked off.
Tom Foey's got the interception.
And Foley bringing it back. He's got some blockers. He might go down the sideline. And he gets pushed out about the Hoptown 45-yard line. So Tom Foley obviously been used a lot in the backfield up until just a few weeks ago. He knows what to do with that ball once he gets a hold of it.
He got in the right position, made a big interception.
Looked like Hoptown was looking for Brandon Hayes once again, number 5.
Well, and he didn't get enough on that. Tom just stepped right out in front of him. Got the ball tucked. You can see he's a running back. Good block out there by Pfeiffer. He takes it down the sidelines. Got it past midfield.
Is it is it that much more difficult to throw the ball when it's this cold out?
No, it's not all that much different. You know, they're there with their hands in hand warmers. The quarterback's just going one way. He's concentrating on the football. It's actually a little harder to catch because that ball gets more rock hard when it's cold.
McDermott with the ball running about 4 yards up the middle before he's taken down. A nice gain for him. He's been showing quite a bit this second half, has Pat McDermott.
Yeah, and you can see there from the flags, the wind's blowing with Covington Catholic right now. So Hopkinsville was having to throw it into the wind.
Foley in motion to give once again to McDermott. McDermott picks up enough. Looks like he's going to get enough for the first down after that the second effort.
McDermott's going to look at this film the rest of his life. He's run it more this game than he has all year long, and he's making the most of it. That fullback dive, a great blocking by Covington Catholic's front people. You can see Ryan Kendall just driving his man off the ball. They're controlling the offensive line, moving it down the field. A big 3rd and 1 play. They'll run it again.
They give once again to McDermott. McDermott goes up and he got the first down. McDermott coming into this afternoon's contest had 22 rushes for 171 yards. His longest rush on the year was an 80-yarder, so really, you knock that out, and he's gained about 90 yards on the year, and he's racking it up this second half.
Well, he's going to get the tape of this game, and he'll show it to his son sometime, and he'll say, yeah, I used to run it like that every game.
That's right. Well, first down for the Covcath. They are on the 34-yard line of the Tigers. This time we'll go back to the way things were going earlier in the first half as the ball goes to Jeremy Madden. He picks up about 3 yards.
Well, they've got the momentum going right now. They're just controlling it up front as they've been doing all game. They're mixing it up.
There you see Madden going up through the middle.
Yeah, and that was number 66, Mark Mangine, pulling and leading for him.
2nd down and 7. This time McDermott gets it once again. And McDermott carries it down to around the 31, 32-yard line.
Well, he's having a good game, but you know, you got to say for those guys up front, Kendall, Mangine, Getz, Plackey, and Doolin, they're a big group. They're controlling it up front. They're making it happen.
Well, Hopkinsville has called a timeout. They're trying to figure out what exactly it is they need to do in order to stop McDermott now, maybe in this second half.
Yeah, they know that if they get going here, they get the ball in the end zone again, go up 4 touchdowns, they're going to have a tough time.
Well, it's all about Northern Kentucky. It's Northern Kentucky Tonight, our own local news and sports, 7 days a week on TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel. Anchored by TKR News Director Wes Wright, Northern Kentucky Tonight airs on both CNN Headline News Channel 24 and on TKR6. So check your local listings for the times. And of course, that is at 24 and 54 after each hour, beginning at 5:54. And of course, it is on weeknights at 6:30, 8:30, and 11:35 on TKR6. Covcath with 3 receivers out to the near sideline on his 3rd and 4 play, and the give is up the middle. Is that McDermott once again?
Yep, they gave it to McDermott. They just want to make sure that they have 4th down and real short, get the first down, or go 4th and short.
Well, he was short. He's going to be about a yard short.
Covington Catholic is bringing in their short yardage package. Along with Wolf, they bring in number 676, John Middendorf, who's a 6'3", 245-pound senior.
So they will go for it on 4th, and they're going to mark it as a 2-yard necessity for a first. Madden gets the ball, and I think he's going to be short.
It's close.
We'll see where they mark it when they unpile everybody. And they're going to bring the sticks in for the measurement, but I can tell from right here he's not going to be quite far enough downfield to make the first down.
No, I don't think he got it.
Covcath, of course, not known as a kicking team this particular season. Kevin Getz, their place kicker, has made 4 field goals on 7 attempts, as indeed it is short for the first down. He's kicked them in the 35-yard range, and an attempt from where the ball was placed there would have put him right about, what about 42 yards?
Yeah, it was out of his range. It was a good idea to go for there on 4th down. They've been controlling it up front, and they've been getting that kind of yardage, and Hopkinsville just stopped them that play.
So the Tigers will take over with 1:33 remaining in the 3rd quarter. They're on their own 24-yard line. We give to Pinner. Pinner coming to the near sideline, turns it upfield, breaks a couple of tacklers, and look out.
Oh, there he goes. There's no stop.
They're not going to catch him.
And that's what people have seen from Artus all season long. They were overbalanced this side. Covington Catholic wasn't adjusted to it. They had a tight end and 2 receivers this way. They faked it to the fullback, gave it to Artus, and if he gets a crack, he's going to go. That's what we've seen of Artus all year long.
So Artus, a 76-yard touchdown. You see the replay, he just flat out runs the linebackers. Number 7, Tom Beecham, has a chance at him, but he can't catch him either. As Artus goes in. Here's the extra point attempt, and it's up, and that is good. Mitch Cutoff, the kicker for the Tigers, and Cutoff cuts the lead to 21-7 in favor of Covcath.
Well, that was a big play for him. They're going to go into the 4th quarter only down 14, where it looked like it might be 28-0. And that's a fun part of high school football. You know, it's going one way, it changes. Good fake. Oh, there's a hold.
Oops.
They don't all get called.
Well, they say that a holding's probably on every play, which would make it a little tough to play a football game if you had a penalty on every single play.
That's right. John Beecham's got some speed. Stays with Artus, but there's no catching Artus in the open field.
Well, Artus with 36 yards rushing in the first half. Obviously, he's up over 100 now for the game with that little traverse.
Well, you got to give Hopkinsville credit. You know, this game has been dominated by Covington Catholic, but Hopkinsville isn't ready to roll over and die. They want to win this game. They've got great character on this team. They've got some nice football players, and they're coming back.
Well, there's a squib that's taken by one of the upbacks. That's number 29 for Covcath, Mitch Landwehr. And Landwehr gets it out to about the 38-yard line, where Covcath will take over 1st and 10.
Now, I don't really understand that. I don't understand why they're squib kicking it to Covington Catholic.
Maybe because of the wind, perhaps? I mean, the wind is blowing in the Tigers' face pretty briskly.
That may be. You got to give Covington Catholic the edge in special teams. They have really done a good job in special teams against Hopkinsville. And I really expected they needed just a tie in special teams to win this game.
Well, Madden will get the ball, and he's taken down by Artus Pinner at about the 35-yard line. It's a nice play by Pinner.
It is. Jeremy getting up limping on that play, too.
He got hit in the knee, it looked like, the knee area, and that's always a dangerous place for anybody.
Artus didn't wrap him up, just got his head across his body and knocked him down.
So it'll be 2nd and 13. Ball on the 35. Keys looking to pass, and he had a man open. Was 86. That would be Chad Summey. Summey not able to hold on to it.
Chad Summey's had a great year for him. I think he's in one of the top students in the class, looking to go to one of the Naval Academy or something like that. Yeah, he's president of the Student Council. He's in the National Honor Society. He's had a good year for him.
So it's 3rd and 13.
5 wide receivers.
Keys in the shotgun. Looking downfield, and he's got, well, he had a man open. It was number 23, Brad Roach, but the ball was knocked down on the line.
Yeah, their line gave him plenty of time that time to get that ball off. Except for Roach, who I don't think was his primary guy. They were pretty well covered.
Yeah, Roach was not in first down territory. He would have been about 7 yards short when he received the ball, but he had some open area around him. Now Covington will kick. Keese does the kicking as well, the punting, I should say, for the Colonels, as well as the quarterback duties. And he kicks it away from the Hoptown players off to the sideline, as was the plan going in. And they are going to mark it down around the 46-yard line. Madden so far has 126 yards rushing in the first half, 2 yards thus far in the second half. Obviously, the load has been going to McDermott quite a bit in the second half.
Well, that was a good punt by Jared Keys. Again, you don't want to let them come back and go 70 yards with a punt return. It was a good play. Covington Catholic still playing smart football. You can't expect them to make every play every time. This is the same formation that they used for the touchdown before when Artus took it around. It's the exact same play.
Yes, it is. This time, Covington a little more successful in containing him, although Artus did pick up about, looks like about 7 and 8 yards.
They didn't let Artus get outside. Their defensive end contained the play that time. I think that was number 95, Greg Hammond.
Well, they'll give him 7 yards on that gain, and it'll be 2nd and 3.
It was Greg Hammond who contained the play and then came back from the outside in to make the play.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. Final score, the score after 3 is 21-7 in favor of Covington. And certainly a good effort thus far through 3 quarters for the Colonels. We'll come back with more after this.
It's our fabulous fall fling. Robke Ford introduces the new 1998 Fords and the factory-authorized clearance of all remaining 97 Fords. Get it all this fall with Robke deep discount prices and special factory rebates up to $2,000 and financing as low as 2.9%. Robke Ford, 15 minutes from anywhere in Northern Kentucky, in Covington, next to Value City.
This time of year, I look forward to those special holiday traditions, like serving Trout Premium Eggnog and Eggnog Ice Cream to friends and family. Generations have served and enjoyed Trout Eggnog because it's made from their original recipe. Trout uses only the finest all-natural ingredients with fresh nutmeg, real milk, and cream. Even a little rum flavoring for that special holiday taste.
Trout Premium Eggnog and Eggnog Ice Cream, a holiday tradition for more than 77 years.
College basketball season is upon us, and for the best coverage of NKU men's and women's basketball, catch the Norse Report live on Mondays at 1 o'clock with replays Mondays and Tuesdays at 7:30 on TKR6. Join TKR Sports Director Don Weber and head coaches Ken Shields and Nancy Winstel for game highlights, analysis, and a preview of upcoming games. You'll also see player profiles spotlighting your favorite Norse players. That's the Norse Report on TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel for NKU basketball.
If you'd like to make a call, please hang up and try again. Make a call, make a call, make a call, call.
John's our first caller. You're on the press box. Marvin, Don, Trivia Bob from Fort Thomas. You're on the press box. Hey, guys. Hey, Bob. Chris. Tony. John from Newport. We've got Tyler. Dwight. You're on. Bill from Ludlow. You're on a press box. Aaron. Dexter.
Hang up and try again.
Hi, I'm Bontrice, and you're watching TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel.
Covington Catholic dominating play through 3 quarters, all except for 1 play. And the Tigers now taking the ball on a 2nd and 3 play, and R2's Pinner just lost some yardage.
Well, that's Ryan Pfeiffer again. He's having a great football game. When they needed it there, the same play they did again, the same formation. Ryan Pfeiffer came up and made a great open field play.
Well, they're going to mark that down about the 39-yard line and bringing up a 3rd and 7. Here you'll see it.
Yeah, he came right inside number 5, Brandon Hayes, and made a nice open field play.
Ball on the 39. Clay Carroll back to pass. Looking downfield, he's got a man open. That's Pinner. And Pinner has enough for the first down. They'll mark him down right around the 50-yard line with his forward progress.
Clayton Craig's an excellent football coach. He knows he's got to keep the ball going to R2's. There's Jeremy Madden getting his ankle taped.
And as we mentioned, Jeremy a little rough coming up after he was tackled earlier on in the 3rd quarter.
That's Ryan Pfeiffer making the tackle, trying to knock it down.
And Coach, I'm going to bug you on this one. You had mentioned to me before that you had a student when you were coaching at Withrow who was Clayton Craig. You just mentioned that the coach over at Hoptown was Clayton Craig. Indeed, it's Craig Clayton.
Well, that's right. That's right. I've actually coached 2 Clayton Craigs.
Is that right?
One at Withrow, who actually blocked for Ryan Reynolds, who's a Covcath running back. There's R2's taken up inside. Tim Wolf getting a piece of the play. Tim's had some shoulder problems. I also coached Clayton Craig at Highlands. He was an outside linebacker for us when we played Bowling Green here in the finals. Now I've got Craig Clayton. I get him switched.
Well, it's understandable. 2nd and 2 for the Tigers. As Pinner picked up 8 yards on that rush up the middle. This time the give is to 45. That's Hampton. Hampton enough for the first down and plenty more. As he takes it down to the Covcath 29-yard line.
Well, that's Oogie.
Oogie.
He can run the ball up there inside. They're trying to get him into those off-tackle plays. And this is big for him. There he is. He's got a hole. Nice cut back there. Good tackle by 84, Matt Reardon.
Covington Catholic has called a timeout. Both teams now with 2 timeouts left in this half.
Well, Tripp, Lynn doesn't want this game to get away from him. He's been up 21-0. Hopkinsville's making a move. They're getting some momentum here. He wants to talk to the defense, get them under control, maybe make some adjustments, talk to them about what they need to do, and get them stopped here.
In this second half, Hoptown with the lead in the first down category, 5-1 over the Colonels. Let me tell you a little bit about some educational issues. NKU professor and former Ludlow School Superintendent John Drought hosts a monthly half-hour on local education issues called Education Issues. Get an insider's view of what's right and what's wrong with local schools with John Drought and Education Issues, only on TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel. So 1st and 10 for the Hoptown Tigers. They have 2 receivers out to the far sideline, an I formation in the backfield. And R2's Pinner gets the ball. And he is going to come back this direction now. A nice block by his quarterback, Clay Carroll. And Pinner's going to pick up close to a first down as he is knocked out right about the 16-yard line.
Well, he's dangerous. That was a nice play there by Tom Beecham. Again, he's the only junior starter on this senior-dominated defense, but he's a good athlete. He often is called to guard the best player man for man. He pursues across the ball, sees R2's come back the other way, gets a good angle on him and knocks him out of bounds.
It's not often you see a high school runner with the presence that R2 seems to have. He's a 5'11", 197 senior. Obviously, the senior factor certainly helps, but he's able to say, hey, this isn't working this direction. I'm going to go back the other way as he gets the ball once again. And this time he's going to be taken down right about the 12-yard line, 11-yard line. It looks like they're going to mark him.
Yep, Artus is a player, and he's now got the confidence that he didn't have really early in this game. They were stopping him. They weren't going to him that much. Now they're going to him. He's got his blood running. He smells that end zone.
It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers from the 11-yard line. Hampton in the backfield. And he gets the call coming out this direction around the end. Hampton, is he going to score? Yes, he is. Boy, some bad tackling looked like by Covington on that particular play.
That was a play unlike Covington Catholic has shown all game. They have done a great job of tackling guys in the open field. And Oogie just took it in there. You can see a number of guys had a chance to get him tackled that time.
Yeah, he was just, nobody really got a chance to wrap him up.
Boy, I didn't think he would get that one in the end zone.
The extra point attempt looks like it's not going to be good.
It is no good. That's a big one.
It is big indeed, as that makes it you have to go for 2 if they score another touchdown in order just to tie things, as Covington Catholic maintains a 21-13 lead. 8:59 left in this 4th quarter. And now also another big play comes back now. The inadvertent whistle that Covington Catholic got an extra play on.
Yeah, that's a big one. Of course, right there, Hopkinsville had a chance to pull within 7 if they put it through, and they miss it. Special teams has been big for Covington Catholic today.
Well, through 3 quarters, Artus Pinner, 16 attempts for 144 yards and a touchdown. Of course, that long 76-yarder. Jeremy Madden with 128 yards rushing. McDermott getting a lot of work in that 3rd quarter. 10 attempts for 78 yards, and he too a touchdown. His longest rush was for 36 yards.
Well, I think you're going to see the ball getting back in Jeremy Madden's hands, and I think he'll deliver here in the 4th quarter.
Now the kick from the Tigers coming down. That's number 88. Brian Voorhees.
Oh, no!
And Voorhees fumbles the ball, but I think Covington Catholic lucky to get that one back.
He got it back.
Wow.
It popped out. There were 3 Hopkinsville guys right there by the ball. But Voorhees had the presence of mind. You'll see it here. He gets stuck.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good.
It popped right out, but Voorhees had the presence of mind to go back and get it. That was number 3, Ricky Gears for Hopkinsville, that made that big stick. Boy, that would have been a big play for him.
So Covington Catholic, 1st down on the 18-yard line. And Madden picks up about 2 before he slips down.
Artus Pinner had a piece of him in the backfield. Jeremy broke that tackle, but could only get through for about 2 yards.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Colonels.
I tell you got to give Artus Pinner some credit. That guy is playing his heart out. He's out there on all special teams, offense and defense. He's doing a heck of a job.
Keese, the play action fake. Looking downfield, he's got a man open. That's number 30, Mark Reardon. And Reardon is going to have enough for a 1st down.
That was a great call by Covington Catholic and a great play by Jared Keys. Again, Mark Reardon is such a key to that offensive success. He takes a lot of pressure off of Jeremy Madden.
Neither quarterback really throwing the ball with a super tight spiral, I guess, as you will. But hey, if you get the ball to your receiver and he can catch it, that's all that counts.
Jared Keys has been doing it. He's made the plays when he's had to make the plays.
This is McDermott once again up the middle, and Pat gets down to about the 33-yard line. That's Covcath's 2nd 1st down of this 2nd half.
Well, Covington Catholic has been doing a great job with those 3rd down conversions. And they don't want to have to depend upon those and go 3rd down over and over again. I think they're going to go into their passing formation here. 1 back, 3 wide receivers and a tight end.
2nd and 7 from the 34. Keese getting pressure, and he's going to be dragged down at about the 24-yard line. That's number 72.
They called it.
Agate.
Right there. Mark Reardon got pushed in the back after the play. They called it. It should have been 3rd and 20 for Covington Catholic, but he got pushed in the back after the play, and they got a 15-yard penalty against Hopkinsville.
How about that? So there you see the replay, and we'll see if we can pick up that that personal foul. Now, not on the replay, you can't see it.
Nope, you don't see it, but it was a good call. There was no sense to do it. You've got 3rd down and 20, and now you give them 3rd down and 2. That was that hurt Hopkinsville right there.
So the ball will be marked at the 39-yard line. And Dale, as you mentioned, just 2 yards now instead of a lot longer for a 1st down.
You know, often in high school football, you mistake that a high school football game is not a game for high school athletes to play, but they think it's a fight, and it's not a fight.
As McDermott gets the 1st down, and look at him go. Will he be caught? Yes, he will. But he's going to be down around the 20-yard line before Brandon Hayes drags him down.
That turned it around right there. Instead of 3rd and long, now he takes it down, and they're inside the 20. Great blocked play. McDermott with just great body lean, not trying to fake anybody out, just heading straight for the end zone.
Pat McDermott, a 5'11", 190-pound senior, having a career day today. And what a day to have it.
That's
the state championship game.
His last high school football game.
So Colonels, 1st and 10. The give to Madden. Madden picks up about 4.
Well, the momentum changed with that personal foul against Hopkinsville.
And you got to believe that the coaches over there on the Hoptown sidelines are just absolutely beside themselves, knowing that they had a potential 3rd and long for the Covcath Colonels.
That's right.
Before they were able to, obviously move forward with the penalty.
Jeremy Madden doing a good job again there, finding the hole and taking it up through.
And there's Madden once again on 2nd and 6, and he gets it down to about the 15-yard line.
Well, if Covington Catholic will just keep the ball here, get the ball in the middle of the field, get a field goal, go up 11, that puts them in a great position.
Well, they are in field goal range, as Kevin Getz has made 4 field goals from right around the 35-yard length, which, of course, the ball would be put down on the 25. And this time, Keese. Looked like it was a set play.
It was.
A draw play up the middle.
Quarterback draw, and Jared Keese had the sense to get the ball right down the middle of the field. So if they want to kick a field goal, they've got it up through there. There he goes, hangs on to the ball, doesn't get the 1st down, but has the field goal set up.
And Kevin Getz is on the field to attempt what looks like it's going to be about a 30-yarder. Covington Catholic calls its 2nd timeout of the half.
Yeah, they had to get a timeout or they were going to get moved back 5 yards.
Right. So Covcath, with 4:41 remaining in the game, looking to go up 24-13. And of course, as you mentioned, Dale, the big play was that personal foul by Hoptown that moved the ball up to a 3rd and 2 situation before McDermott had the big run.
Well, yep, and again, I like to make the point that this is a high school football game. It's played for high school athletes, and it's not geared to be a fight. It's geared to be a fun event, and where you can just go out and see who's the best football team. And I think they just got a little carried away and wanted to push and shove, and took them out of their game.
Well, let me tell you about the Tri-State's only live daily television talk show. Northern Kentucky Magazine airs 5 days a week at 10 a.m. on TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel. Northern Kentucky Magazine features the people, places, and things that make Northern Kentucky special. Hosted by 30-year radio and TV personality Dick Von Hain, the show repeats each weekday at 3 and at 9, and again on weekends. Northern Kentucky Magazine, only on TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel. Kevin gets a 30-yard field goal attempt for Covington Catholic, which will put them up 11. The ball is up. It's got the length, but I believe it's going to be wide.
Yeah, it was.
Pushed it out just a little bit to the right. So the Hoptown Tigers dodge a bullet there, and they will take over on the 20-yard line. Everything looked like it went okay.
Well, he had the leg into it. He was a little rushed to the side by Wilbur Benson, but it was off to the right.
Hoptown now with 2 receivers out to the right. Or excuse me, out to the left, and we're going to have a penalty flag. Jim Allen says that it's going to be against the Colonels. And that, the call will go for 5 yards and put the ball out to the 25-yard line, where it will be 1st and 5.
Well, and they've still got a long way to go. They've got 75 yards to go, and then they've got to get the 2-point conversion to tie it up.
Artos Pinner bounces outside, and he'll get taken down right about the 27-yard line. That call was for a failure to wear required equipment on one of the Covcat Colonels.
One of the guys probably didn't have his mouthpiece in.
That's a pickup of about 2 yards by Pinner, and it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 27.
We're under 4 minutes in this game.
3:49 and counting. Pinner up the middle once again. Gets away from some tackles once again.
Ooh.
That was a nice shoestring grab. That was number 43, Ryan Pfeiffer. And he kept Pinner from getting, it looked like he had room to pick up at least another 5 or 10 yards.
Well, he did. He does a nice job of cutting through here, breaks a tackle there, and if he gets by Ryan Pfeiffer right there, keeps his feet, it's a touchdown. Ryan Pfeiffer's the player of the game this game.
I think you're right. 1st and 10 for the Tigers on the 41. Fake to Hampton, and Pinner gets it, and he'll take it outside. He's got some room. He gets it out to about the 49-yard line. Nice pickup of 8 yards.
Yeah, he was tackled that time by Tom Foey and Brian Voorhees out there, which is basically the same play that they've been running, that they got the big yardage for him.
Hoptown out-distancing Covcat in the second half in the first down department, 7-1 now. And this one coming up will be a 2nd and 2 for the Tigers. They need to get to the 49-yard line of the Colonels.
Covington Catholic would...
And that's where they end up going. Right up the middle. I didn't see who took that one. Oh, it was 45. That was Hampton.
Yeah, they gave it to Oogie up the middle. Hopkinsville's doing a nice job of mixing it up. Covington Catholic is bending, but not breaking here in this drive, not letting him have anything big.
3:12 now left and counting in this 4th quarter.
Nice tackle.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Nice tackle again by Pfeiffer.
1st and 10 on the 42-yard line. They give up the middle to Pinner. Pinner bounces out once again. This time he's going to be stacked up. I wonder if they're going to give him the forward progress, because forward progress would have been about 2 yards or 3 yards forward of where he was brought down. No, they're going to mark it where he was taken down.
Yeah, because if you can see, he was still under control. It was his decision to pop out of that pile. It wasn't their push that sent him back.
As a result, it'll be 2nd and 12 on the 44.
Nice play by Greg Hammond. He's also having an excellent play for this Covington Catholic defense.
Carroll, the handoff. Pinner gets back to about the original line of scrimmage to begin this series of downs.
Well, it's 3rd and 10 for Hopkinsville, and they're going to go for it. They're not going to punt.
No, they really can't. They've got 152 to do something. They need to come up with some points big right now.
This is what high school football is all about right here, right now. 3rd and 10 for the state championship.
2 receivers to the near side. The handoff goes to Hampton, and Hampton looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. A flag is down on the play, though. And Covcath is saying that the call is going to go against the Tigers.
It's right in that area where you'd expect a hold.
And it holded it is. So the Tigers are really killing themselves this half with the penalties.
Yeah, that's going to hurt them. That was a first down on the 30.
Yeah, it was a nice run by Hampton. There's no question about it. And he did have enough for the first. But now the Tigers will be faced with a 3rd and 16. As they'll have the ball on the 48-yard line. Covington Catholic and Hoptown both now have 65 yards each in penalties this game.
Well, I think they have to get it to Artus right here.
Carroll telling Artus to get back in the back. And we're going to have a reverse. The reverse goes to Benson. Benson comes around the far sideline, and he's not going to make a whole lot of yardage. He'll get back about 6 yards, and it'll be 4th and 10. Under a minute now to go. The clock is still running. He did not get out of bounds. 53 seconds and counting.
They've got to get quicker in and out of the huddle.
Yeah, I don't know that they realized that the clock was not stopped after that play. The Tigers went in the huddle they killed off about 20 seconds right there.
That was Brian Voorhees that made that last play.
So Carroll, this is it. Down the middle, it's broken up. And they're going to call a penalty, I think, against Covington Catholic.
They called it on Ryan Pfeiffer.
Artus Pinner, the intended receiver. And it looked like he may have got there just a little early, and that is the call.
Well, it was close. We'll see it here again. Good rush.
Well, I don't know. It looked like he was going up for the ball, and it may have been offensive.
Well, we've got a better view from here. We've got it in slow motion, but I wouldn't have made that call. I think he was just going up for the football, and he's got a right to that territory as the offensive receiver does. I would have called that no call.
So the Tigers with a new lease on life in this game. 26 seconds, 1st and 10 from the 28. Carroll, back to pass. Coming to this side.
It's underthrown.
And it's underthrown, and it was intended for Brandon Hayes. Tom Foley out there with him, and they tripped each other up.
Yeah, and again, that was another good no call. They were both running for the ball. They tripped each other up, and it was an incomplete pass. They've got to do that again. They've got 3 downs to get it in the end zone, but only 21 seconds.
Tigers send 2 receivers to this sideline. Carroll looking over the middle. He's got him in, and the ball is complete. That's number 85, Derek Pierce, the tight end. And he takes it down to about the 8-yard line. Wow. 14 seconds left. They'll set it up, and then they'll start the clock back up again. Hoptown with 2 timeouts remaining. And they will burn one of those timeouts right now. There you see the reception.
Well, that was a good catch and a good reaction again by Matt Reardon to make it just a play down to the 8-yard line instead of a touchdown. Covington Catholic has hung with them. They haven't let him have that big play, except for that one big play by Artus, and made him work to get the ball down into the end zone.
So the Covcath Brain Trust discussing the defensive plans.
See those eyes glued to Lynn Ray. The team's got a lot of respect for Lynn Ray. He's won 4 state championships every time he's been there. They've won the state championship. The team is rallied around him and around Tim Wolf, and they want to win this state championship.
Of course, Tim is the 4th and final Wolf brother to wear the blue and white of Covcath. The other 3, Mike, Joey, and Ricky, were members of state championship teams, and Tim, of course, wants to join his brothers as a state champ. He was the Northern Kentucky Coaches Association Division II Player of the Year this year.
His mother was a Highlands grad.
The pitch out to Pinner. Pinner with some room up the outside there, and he gets down.
They better get a timeout.
There's 7 seconds left, and Hoptown does call a timeout. Their final of the game.
So what do you do here? Do you run it or do you pass it?
That's a good question. They're on looks about the 2-yard line. I don't know. I got to believe that they're going to give it to Pinner. Of course, the problem you run into with 7 seconds left, if he doesn't get in, that's it.
It's it, yes. If they try to throw a quick one to Pinner, and in the end zone, it's either complete or a touchdown, or a touchdown, a completion, or an incompletion. Then they've got a last play to give it to Pinner on the pitch play or something like that. If they run it here, the game's over if he doesn't get in.
So we'll see what happens. Lynn Ray out for a final pep talk. And this is for all the marbles.
Well, I think they've got a right pitch planned to Artus, and that may be there if they get it to him. No, they're going to put him in motion and throw it to him.
The lob inside the end zone, and it's incomplete. Derek Pierce was the intended receiver. He had it bounce off his hands.
They've got another play. That was a great call. It was there if he makes the play. That was a great call.
Boy, I tell you, they ran 2 seconds off. It was a nice, quick call for the Tigers, but I'll tell you what, Pierce had it right off his hands.
It's there. Ryan Pfeiffer was there, but if he makes the catch, that's a touchdown.
3rd down.
They pitch it to Artus. They got him. That's the game. It's Covington Catholic state champions
for the 4th time. And Lynn Ray's reign as head coach, 5th time. That's right, they had 4 before. This is their 5th, and look at him celebrate.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hopkinsville lost this game. You got to give them a lot of credit. They had a never-say-die attitude. They almost came back and tied it there. They lost to a great football team, but they don't have to hang their heads.
And it's fitting that Covcath wins on a big defensive play, as you mentioned. Glenn Ray, the defensive coordinator for his team. And I'll tell you what, they got him down around the 1 to 2 yard line.
Well, it couldn't have been a better football game. The last play comes down to 3rd and 2, and they came up and tackled the best running back in the state. And if you're going to win the state championship, you've got to make the tackle on the last play of the game from the 2 yard line against the best back, and they did that in Covington Catholic's AAA State champions.
Definitely an exciting game. Of course, full of a little bit of controversy, as the inadvertent whistle play, I'm sure, will be much discussed during the off season. And you know that Hoptown next year is going to come back for a 3rd consecutive try at this, and I'll bet that they'll want to face the Covcath Colonels.
Well, I think Covington Catholic, more than they're going to discuss the inadvertent whistle, I think they're going to discuss what design of rings they're going to get for winning a state championship. And you know, the team that played the better game won today. To me, there's no controversy really in the game. They came out and they played a better game. You know, like I said, you got to give credit to to Hopkinsville. They had 6 guys going both ways. They fought them all the way down to the end, but they lost to the team that played the better game today.
And you got to feel good for the entire Covington Catholic Colonel team, coaches and players alike. I mean, you know, going into this season, everybody that looked at the 3A district up in Northern Kentucky thought that your Highlands Bluebirds were the team to beat, and that was the case. Your team was the team to beat, and that's exactly what this team did. And we'll go down on the field to talk with Wes Wright, who's got the coach.
Lynn, a classic ending here.
Well, I thought it was. I mean, gee whiz, what a great football game, huh? What a great inning. We've been in a lot of close games this year so far. It seems like we pull them out. I have nothing but compliments. Our toe spinner came back in the second half, played a great football game, but at the end, we came out on top. When we needed to stop them, we did. I mean, it was a great effort by them, a great effort by us, a tremendous football game. We're very happy and pleased that we won the game.
A couple plays by an unsung running back, Pat McDermott, as Hopkinsville keyed on Jeremy Madden.
Pat McDermott, our fullback, did an excellent job. They were keying on Jared Keys. Offensive coordinator Bob Knoll decided to run Pat McDermott more. Pat did a great job, got a lot of yardage for us, some key plays, and some touchdowns.
A couple of key interceptions, 2 by Ryan Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Ryan Pfeiffer played an exceptional game. They finally quit throwing to his side over there because he had those 2 interceptions. He played a great football game.
Lynn, I know that Mike Yeagle always struggles with this question, but is this your best state championship ever, best team ever?
It's another state championship team, which makes it a great football team. So I guess that's 5 great football teams we've had.
All right, Lynn, thanks. Lynn Ray, the Covington Catholic head coach, as we join him in his post-game interviews, and Tripp will try to catch up with a couple of players. We'll toss it back upstairs.
Okay, thank you very much, Wes. We'll come back with more right after this break.
Bankrupt, divorce, low credit, no credit. Hi, Ron Bitter, Mike Albert Superstores. Did you know Mike Albert has guaranteed credit approval with a local bank? We also have a large selection of late models, certified cars, trucks, and vans. All vehicles have a 3-day money-back guarantee and a 12-month, 12,000-mile warranty. We have 2 locations in Northern Kentucky, Florence and Southgate, where customer satisfaction is #1.
Dusing Brothers Ice is a proud sponsor of Northern Kentucky sports. Dusing Brothers Ice on Dixie Highway in Erlanger stands for quality. Quality from the start. From the purest and cleanest ice to the best service and the friendliest people. Dusing Brothers Ice has stood behind their quality for over 65 years. Quality service to the entire greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. Whenever you shop, if you see a Dusing Brothers Ice box, tell them you saw it on TKR Cable. Dusing Brothers Ice on Dixie Highway in Erlanger. Stop in soon.
Just look at this beautiful table setting.
The food looks great.
And here's Trout Original Recipe eggnog. I love eggnog during the holidays.
And now the same great eggnog is available in ice cream, too.
Trout Premium Eggnog is a tradition in our family.
It's premium because it's made from scratch.
That's right. They use fresh nutmeg, real milk and cream, no fake stuff.
Plus, they add a little rum flavoring for that special holiday taste.
Well, let's eat.
Leave plenty of room for the eggnog ice cream.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dick Von Hain.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is me handle, here is me. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is me handle, here is me. Darn, I'm a sugar bowl.
Well, the Covington Catholic Colonels have just hoisted the state championship trophy. Dale, let's take a look at the big defensive stand, the last play of the game that really saved the potential of overtime.
Well, yeah, the play before that, they had thrown the pass to the tight end. Here they're going to pitch it out to Artus. That's 65, Mark Applegate, that makes the first hit on him. Just then, a bunch of Colonels, 37, Nick Germain, who also had a great game, come over and make the play.
So obviously, Covington Catholic will bring that trophy home and be very proud of it, and I'm sure they'll display that prominently back in Park Hills. 21-13 is your final score, and you know, we were talking about it before we went down to the interview. You got to feel happy for these guys. I mean, Tim Wolf, obviously his brothers all winning state championships. Now he wins one as well. All the other guys, you know, people thinking that Covington Catholic was the underdog this year, beginning the season in Northern Kentucky, let alone, you know, in the region or in the state. And they've come back and they've won the game at the right time. And Wes Wright will go down and talk with you with Ryan Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Trip, we're going to eavesdrop on a post-game interview already underway.
Great running back, runs the ball hard. I don't know.
Not too many people could bring him down on that first hit. A lot of you were hitting him high. Seems that you were the only one to be able to get it together to lower you, hit him, take his feet out from under him.
Yeah, I just tried to, gave him all, went down low on him, tried to bring him down, wrapped up, held on so how long as I could.
The game plan have you keying on him in particular or anything special for him?
No, sir.
Nothing that really would change anything to specify that you'd cover him?
Nothing at all, just playing regular Covcat football.
Did they do anything as a team that would surprise you according to the way you've practiced this week?
No, we were ready for everything they came out on us.
Did they surprise you with their speed? You knew that was going to be coming at you. Was it what you expected?
They were faster than what I expected. I mean, there's no way anybody on our team could have kept up with any of them. We just wanted it more than they did.
Tell us about your 2 big interceptions.
I don't know. I give it all the credit to the coaches. They told me what plays were coming. I was there in the right place at the right time.
When you're watching a particular snap, is there anything you keyed on as far as tendencies that they'd have, their formations, how they'd line up or anything?
Nah, we all just read our keys and went flying the ball.
Well, you had a great game this afternoon.
All right, Trip, let's slide out of here, and we will try to find Pat McDermott and some others in a minute.
Okay, thank you very much, Wes. Ryan, obviously a very tremendous game for that young man this afternoon. He, of course, coming up with a couple of big plays and really kind of set the tone for the team.
Well, it's appropriate they're interviewing Ryan Pfeiffer because he had a great game. He was a player of the game, not only the 2 interceptions, but just numerous times when he was making great open field tackles on Artus Pinner. He had a great game.
And of course the big interceptions as well. That the one that set up the touchdown. You know, he just really was in the right place at the right time and pretty much was everywhere.
Yep, and it was a great team effort. Covington Catholic's offensive line dominated the line when they needed to. They played a great job throughout and did a great job.
Well, there you see the Covcat Colonels in prayer. And they are going to be a very happy bunch on the trip back north to Northern Kentucky.
Well, they won the state championship.
And you know what that feeling is like, I'm sure, Dale, obviously having won a state championship just on this field last year against this same team. Talk a little about what that is like, very briefly.
Well, it's a great feeling. You put it all together. It's what you work for all year long, and it's just a great feeling.
Let's go back on the field now to Wes Wright.
And we've got Pat McDermott standing by. First of all, just the feeling in general of being a state champion.
Oh, it's so great. We've been waiting 4 years for this as freshman champions, and we just kept playing. Undescribable feeling, really.
With Hopkinsville keying a lot on Jeremy Madden, that opened a door too for you.
Yes, it did. We planned on that all week long. Jeremy's gotten most of our carries all week long, so they just gave me the opportunity, and our line knew they could push him around, and they did it today.
Tell me about the key carry. I think it was 3rd and 2 late in the game that really put the game out of reach.
Coach Knoll just had a lot of confidence in me, and the hole just opened up when the lineman got in there, and we pushed on ahead, got it through.
All right, Pat, thank you. Covington Catholic running back Pat McDermott, a state champion, and we will try to round up a couple of other interviews right after this. Trip.
Wes, thank you. Let's take a look at the final statistics from this game. The first down worked out to be a 0 point as both teams had 13. Yards rushing in favor of Covcat, 266 to 250. Yards passing in favor of Hopkinsville as they had to pass the ball to pick up some yardage there toward the end of the game, 102 to 36. And the total yardage as well in favor of Hopkinsville. And then the turnovers, a big thing. 3 turnovers for Hoptown, none for Covcat.
Well, anytime in a big game, those turnovers are key. I also think a big key, of course, was the running of McDermott. He carried it 12 times for 122 yards, just over 10 yards per carry, and he really surprised Hopkinsville.
Artus Pinner ended up with 205 yards rushing on 28 attempts and the one long 76-yard touchdown, so he did get over 200 yards rushing. They had held him to 36 yards in the first half. but it didn't turn out adversely for the Colonels, as Jeremy Madden picked up 135 and Pat McDermott picked up 122 for Covcap. Jared Keys 4 of 9 passing for 36 yards. His longest pass play was 11 yards to Mark Reardon. Mark picked up 2 passes for 17 yards. And
Mark had a big one there too when he caught that one 6-yard one that set up the touchdown.
Absolutely. Clay Carroll for Hoptown, 5 of 11, 3 interceptions for 72 yards. His longest pass was 21 yards. Benson, 2 receptions for 24 yards, and Pinner, 2 for 27. As far as Covcap coming in for next season, they lose some key players.
Well, they do. They lose a lot of great football players. They had 1 starter on defense and 1 starter on offense. Plackey, who was a junior, they're predominantly a senior group. They had 30 seniors, but they're an excellent football program. They've got good sophomores, good juniors, and they're going to be a good team.
Let's go down on the field to Wes Wright.
All right, Trip, we have Mark Applegate giving credit along with a teammate on the defensive line, Nick German, for making the game-saving tackle. Tell me about the classic ending and the tackle.
I just saw the running back, Artus, who's a great running back, run outside with the ball. I read it, and me and Nick German went up and made the tackle. It's a great feeling. We've worked 4 long years for this championship. It feels great.
This was a thriller at the end.
Oh, definitely. Our defense sort of had a little letdown there in the second half, and our offense picked it up, scored a touchdown when we needed them. Everybody came through. It's a great feeling.
All right, Mark, congratulations. Mark Applegate, state champion Covington Catholic Colonel, back upstairs. Trip.
Thank you very much, Wes. And Covington Catholic, really, I tell you, they're still milling around down on the sidelines, talking amongst each other how happy and excited they are, and really a good performance by them.
Well, it was a great game for them. They deserved to win that game. Applegate did make a great play, pursuing right down the ball to make that last play. Brian Voorhees was a defensive back over there and didn't allow a soft corner for them to get pushed into the end zone. They stuffed them on the play of the game. They won it when they needed to.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Dale. Best of luck to you and the Highlands Bluebirds next season. For Dale Mueller and Wes Wright and all the people who helped bring this game to you, I'm Trip Topkin. Again, your final score in the 3A championship game, Covington Catholic 21, Hoptown 13. Until next season, thanks for watching.
Our fabulous fall fling. Robke Ford introduces the new 1998 Fords and the factory-authorized clearance of all remaining 97 Fords. Get it all this fall with Robke deep discount prices and special factory rebates up to $2,000 and financing as low as 2.9%. Robke Ford, 15 minutes from anywhere in Northern Kentucky, in Covington, next to Value City.
Hi, I'm Dwight. You're watching TKR6, Northern Kentucky's own channel.